And now, let's start the momentum going with an exciting fireside chat featuring two esteemed guests. First of which is Nermin Numic, the founder of Cheyf. Nermin's innovative approach to business has gathered attention, and his insights promise to spark engaging conversations today. Discover the stories behind Cheyf Tourism Agency, specializing in personalized experiences, and meet the trailblazing founder of the first ultra trail in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Sanja Kavaz. Joining them as the host of this fireside chat is Nina Kovac. Nina is a tourism product development team lead with the USA Tourism Project. So, without any further delay, let's dive into our fireside chat brought to you by USA Tourism. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Sanja, Nina, and Nermin.
Good morning. It's a great pleasure for us to be here today. My name is Nina Kovac. I'm with USA Tourism Project, and I hope to have a very riveting and inspiring conversation next to the fire and spark some interest among the many youth that is present here today. Just a couple of introductory words. Tourism is an economic powerhouse. Pre-pandemic, it has contributed to over 10% of global GDP and created millions of jobs. But it's not only that. It is a way to preserve natural and cultural heritage. It breaks barriers and connects people from all over the world and promotes understanding. Hence, the topic of our conversation today is tourism as a uniting power, and we really do see that as a project. Joining me today, I'm very pleased that we have amazing and inspiring speakers who, through their own personal experience, hopefully will spark interest among the many youth among you to try out some new and first trailblazing initiatives within the tourism sector. Sanja Kavaz is a freelance outdoor journalist and an event organizer, but also the founder of the first ultra trail in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Jahorna Ultra Trail. And Nermin Numic, who has founded Cheyf Travel Agency as an agency that really focuses on personalized, immersive experiences for travelers. But before we start our conversation here today, we have a very special message delivered by Robert Daceshin, who I hope many of you know. He is one of our most acclaimed travel bloggers and certainly the most internationally awarded. His video, Why Bosnia and Herzegovina Should Be the #1 destination in the world, was awarded as the best tourism video by an international committee. He has delivered a special message dedicated only for a future summit for you today. So he will be our food for thought. If we can please play the video, enjoy the next 6.5 minutes.
Today, but as always, I'm traveling somewhere and trying to film some new videos and trying to explore some new parts of the world, but I would still like to address maybe shortly to you watching this now and maybe share some ideas about the country where we live in. So far until this day, I managed to visit 97 countries in the world, and probably my goal would be to visit all the countries one day. And there is this saying that more people have been to space that have visited every country in the world, and I think it's going to be like a mission one day, or a goal that I would have. But traveling to all these places, to all these amazing places like Cuba, Indonesia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Brazil, Colombia, and so else, makes you realize one thing, makes you realize how sometimes you don't actually pay attention to the place where you live in and how you take for granted many things that you do have here. And if you would ask me like 10 years ago what do I think about the country where I live in, I would probably not have very genuine or concrete answer. But the more I travel, the more I see some things, and the more I travel, the more I want to live here, because I see huge first of all potential that can be done here. And I see that we have so many untouched places, so many empty spaces that we can reach and that we can use in the future to create many things here. If you go to the places such as Cyprus, such as Indonesia, such as like Thailand, most of the Southeast Asia, Japan and many other countries, you would see that the tourism is, if not the first one, then like top 5 source of income and top 5 source of people's employment in a way. And then you see that here we do have so many good things. I actually made a video about it, maybe some of you guys have seen it, but it's called Why Bosnia Can Be the #1 travel destination in the world. And then you see that in these 42,000 square kilometers, I think, so many incredible things have fit. So many waterfalls, so many rivers, so many mountains, so many lakes, so many genuine people that really want to develop something. And I think that maybe we don't realize now, but 5 years from now, or like 10 years from now, I think that tourism can really be the #1 income here, and that many people can actually live from that. Even though it may sound crazy to some of you guys watching this, but I do believe that if we film a video in, let's say, Novi Grad, in Visoko, Travnik, Jajce, Tuzla, or any other place, that if some people from other countries see that video, and if those people actually come to the country where we live, that those days some hotels, some taxi drivers, some normal people living here could live better in a way financially. And I think that the more we invest in digital marketing, the more people would actually come. Maybe one thing you don't know about me is that I primarily live from digital marketing, and I see that the perception of the people when you say Bosnia is still not very good, and it's really hard to change the image which was bad. But if we all gather and if we all work as a team, and if you ask me what is the biggest problem, why the image is not better, I would say actually this, that there is still no unity and still no love for the country. We can definitely promote all the beauties that we have on the social medias, on YouTube and on all the digital platforms around the world. But I think the first step and the most important would be people to start to love the country, to start to appreciate what we have, to start to work together, and to start to not take their own interest as the #1, but the interest of the country as a whole. Because if my primary interest is for my country to be good, then I would do everything I have and everything I can to make it better. And I think if we all give like 5% more to sharing the good word, to sharing the positive image that we see here, and that everyone that comes here actually sees, I think it can be a huge catalyst to some future changes. As for me, I do believe that comparing to 5-10 years ago, the country is much better media-wise, and me and my guys, we try to do our best to make it even more better. But I urge you in a way to just share the things that we do here on the daily basis, and that when you go abroad, you with huge sense of pride talk about the place where we live in, about the city where we live in, and that you show all the videos that are made here, which are really amazing. And if my mission is to maybe visit all the countries in the world, and if maybe one day that would be something that I would do, I would prefer that people would know me as the guy that in a way promoted Bosnia in a way as it should be promoted, and that all these things I actually think about my country, and that you guys think about the place where we live in, come to the people around the world. Once again, I'm really sad that I'm not here today. I would wish, but I hope next year I would definitely come, and I would try to organize my days. But I hope you are enjoying the time. I hope you are having a good time, and I wish to see you very, very soon.
I think this deserves a round of applause. Thank you so much to Robert Dacic, wherever he is currently in the world. This brings me to Sanja, because there's a lot of similarities in your experiences to those of Robert, in the sense that you too take the road less traveled. You blaze the trail, so to say. You are the first to have founded the Ultra Trail in Bosnia and Herzegovina. You're now promoting snowshoeing. Please tell us about your experience in the sense of what are the rewards and challenges of being the first, and what inspired you to go down that road?
Well, it all started 12 years ago when I became passionate long-distance road runner. So we runners are one of the most annoying types of people, because we talk about running 90% of our time. And the best way to channel my thoughts and my experience and the gains, everything I learned from that experience, was to start blogging. So I started my blog about running. And very soon I gained an audience across the region. So I was in a spotlight. I knew a lot of runners across the region. But something was missing, and running downtown was empowering, but what was missing was contact with nature. And then I discovered trail running. Back then, there were 30 people across Bosnia who were doing trail running, so it was a great challenge to promote it. So I'd start from the scratch. I wrote a lot of text about trail running. I did a lot of trail running myself, doing these crazy races, 100K races, 100-mile races all over Europe. So I gained experience, and I wanted to transfer it to these new trail runners in Bosnia and across. But at the same time, I wanted to show Bosnian mountains to runners from the region and from Europe and across and worldwide. And I decided to start first ultra trail race in Bosnia. So it happened in 2015. It was really a crazy idea, but it was a big challenge for me. But we made it. So after 10 years, I have to say that I faced a lot of challenges, but now when I look back, I'm happy I started it. So. Very soon, other race organizers started their events, and we didn't have to travel abroad to do trail races anymore. So I was really happy to see the community growing and new projects popping up. And 2 years ago, we got the first academic writing about trail running, which was really great, because now even at the university they talk and study about trail running. So it was like a step-by-step process, but nowadays I'm happy we started it.
Now we have positive change that's being propagated.
Of course, now we have other trail runners from all over the world coming to Bosnia doing trail races.
Amazing. Yes, this definitely deserves a round of applause. And also, Nermin, with you, I feel that there is a connection to what we heard Robert speak about, because he says that tourism can be a catalyst of change, but that we need to learn to love our country even more. We need to work as a team. And even for himself, he needed to distance himself to go travel the world and then come back here to understand what we take for granted. You had a similar experience in that you've traveled all over the world. You've lived in different places, but you came back here and now have a boutique travel agency that focuses on personalized travel, what is that distinct preciousness that we have here that we might be blind to, but that others obviously see and seek? And how do you make a business out of it?
Well, what Robert said is like we wrote the speech together. It's kind of like this. So like 10 years ago, I moved away from Bosnia and Sarajevo 2013 in August, and then I lived like in Vienna, in Czech Republic, South Africa, in Cape Town, and Germany. And then in the end, like I got stuck here during COVID, and my eyes opened. Even though I grew up here, even though I know this country, I needed to go somewhere far away to travel in all the corners of the world to understand what we have here and what is precious. So first of all, of the meaning of word Cheyf that our company is also named, that like life feeling, to take time for some of the things that is not a given. In many cultures, people don't know how to relax or to Cheyf. Second of all, like I started to appreciate the stuff that we have. For example, the mountain Trbević is something that I hated when I lived here in Sarajevo. Now I appreciate it. I lived in Cape Town in Table Mountain where they were bragging about that you could do a hike from the doorsteps, but it's a little bit more dangerous, safety concerns. But we have here really low crime rate. We have mountains all around us. The country is so diverse, like I didn't see anywhere else in Europe. But maybe as well in the world. And I'm not speaking only of the obvious one, like the religions, the 4 religions that we have here, but as well in like a radius of 100 kilometers, you have Mediterranean climate, you have mountains, you have different climates, you have different architecture styles, like how Banja Luka looks like, and Sarajevo and Mostar and Trebinje is totally different. And this is like on a very, very small area. And as well, what you eat in Bijeljina, you don't eat at all in Mostar, and all of this like Kvrguša in Krajina, nobody knows here what it is. So, but this is like all a small space, a small nation that has this untouched nature, very diverse, such a big, everything from, a little bit from everything in such a small space. You needed actually to travel in multiple countries to see everything that we have here. Rio made it popular that that fact that we have more waterfalls than Germany, France, and Spain together. There are so many things here in Bosnia that when I lived here, if I would see it somewhere in Spain, I would be like, okay, book my flight, I want to see this. And we have it in front of our doorsteps. I think around Sarajevo we have like at least 10 waterfalls. I mean, around Sarajevo, more or less, but like this all that we have, we don't need to appreciate. And maybe as something about personal travel, but as well as a game changer, when we started this company, our goal was to, since we don't have a national tourism board, to make a better image about Bosnia and Herzegovina for the world. But as well, I'm hoping that we will, that the people from Bosnia will understand that the image is not as bad as it seems, because we tend to think that everything that comes from Bosnia, it only exists here and it's the worst. But being everywhere in the world and seeing the bureaucracy and what kind of things work and don't work, we're definitely not the worst country, and in some of the things we are maybe way ahead even from some developed countries. I will not lie that we have problems, but every country has. Good story is that like my wife, she's German, she lives here now in Bosnia, and everybody asks her like, why did you move here? But nobody asks her like, because we met in South Africa in Cape Town, why did you move to Cape Town? We have our own perception about our own country is due to this political situation for a longer time is so disappointed, and I would love to change that. And not only for the guests, that is very obvious that we want to do, as well for the people here. If you follow kind of like our Instagram profile and what to see and what to do, it's amazing what you can do in such a small space.
Wow. Thank you, Nermin. Nermin talks about this aspect of culture and immersion into local communities. Sanja, you are more in the great outdoors. You're outside in contact with nature. Could you tell us about the transformative effect that has had on you personally, but also in terms of business and new opportunities? It is becoming more popular. We're talking now to an audience full of young people. What does it mean? How can we engage them to visit and appreciate the wonderful nature that we have all around us? And what did it mean for you?
Are there any runners here? Wow. Only one?
Shy. You're shy.
Well, I just hope that at least some of you would consider the idea of trying to start running. Anyways, it brought so many changes into my life. Physically and mentally, I changed a lot. And it really empowered me to embrace challenges and not to be afraid of a lot of things and to solve problems differently. So in terms of that gain, I became completely different person. And I was ready really to transfer that experience and knowledge to others and to invite them to change their lives through contact with nature, spending more time in nature. So yes, in a way it is like a personal change, but at the same time it was a business challenge, because when you're organizing a big event and you have like 600 participants, and you have to know that these trail runners usually travel with their family members, with their support team members. So a lot of people, more than a runner, will attend your event. And at the same time, we are all consumers, we are tourists. When we travel, we need accommodation, and we do these long runs, but at the end of the day, we want to eat cevapi, pita and baklava. So you have to consider that as well when you're making a concept of a event like a trail running competition. So yeah, it was also a business challenge, and I managed to run it for 5 years. And at the breakout of pandemia, I made a successful business transfer of my project to, nowadays it belongs to Olympic Center of Jahorina. They're owner and they're organizing it. And I am in their, let's say, board of advisors. So I'm still close to it. So yeah, it's a business idea, and you have to consider it that when you're inviting people from abroad, they want to attend your event, but at the same time they want a close connection, interaction with the local communities. They want to start to try out the local cuisine. They want to be engaged at the same time. And more you dedicate yourself to also those ideas, the longer they would stay. Because Jahorina Ultra Trail takes place at the end of July. It's a holiday time for holidays, so they instead of staying only during the race, they decide to bring their family members and stay for 5 or even 7 days, because Jahorina is close to Sarajevo. They visit Sarajevo. They also go to Mostar, so they have a nice holiday when they, at the same time, father or mother are doing these long runs.
And Nermin, if I may just say, I forgot to say at the very beginning, you have a very cool name for your travel agency, like Cheyf. It really speaks volumes to us locals, but also I can imagine you're trying to teach the travelers this experience. Can you share maybe an example of 2 that stayed with you, of the reactions the travelers had to some of the tourism products and experiences that you provide to them? What are some of their reactions when they come here, maybe if they didn't have a right preconceived notion of what Bosnia and Herzegovina is, and then leaving with something new, having experienced your service?
Thank you for complimenting our name. So maybe it's good to know that mostly of our guests are to 90% are from the German-speaking market. So all of these conceptions of Germans being, being strict and like want to tick off the boxes is probably true. I mean, these cliches come from somewhere. So this is the first thing that we wanted. As well, there are misconceptions about Bosnia and Herzegovina. The expectations are not high. So people come here and don't know what to expect. And then when we even bombard them with our Cheyf feeling, we explain the Bosnian coffee, why it's a big thing here, why it's the backbone of our society, that they should take time, that even if our tour is said that it's going to be 3 hours and we do it 4 or 5 hours, that they don't need to pay anything extra. So all of this kind of changes them and relaxes them during their vacation or holidays. So, and then as well, due to this Cheyf and our concept, people stay longer. And we have some of the anecdote that people were waiting for the bus didn't come, or it did come later, I can't remember. But they were texting us that it's not a problem, we understood that we should take more time, and that is not a problem, that everything is in Bosnia is like easy or lagano, or like however they say it. So they kind of accepted not only getting slower, but as well the concept of Cheyf. So we have wine tours where the people make their own cuvée, and then they text us later on, a couple of months later, that they opened that wine when they got a newborn. So all of this kind of gives a positive impact to the guests and about the perception of Bosnia and Herzegovina, but as well for the local people, since they have the possibility through personalized travel or through this Cheyf to interact maybe more than with the guests, and not only just ticking off the boxes, driving from bus from one station to another, Sarajevo, Mostar, that's it, and let's go. So they get to talk more, to tell them the story. They have the opportunity then to sell them as well more. And we choose our partners to be local, the ones that can tell a story, that speak the same language or have the same values as us. And all of this gives some changes. And these anecdotes, I have probably a lot of them, but they are all some just small anecdotes where you have this, okay, you understand what is Cheyf, and very often we get this, we need this at home. But I know, like, it's very hard to take this feeling from your vacation, but everybody knows was laissez-faire or dolce far niente, or all of this saying. And I want to maybe to pass on this feeling that is maybe more even Balkan, but especially Bosnia, this Cheyf that people know, and that like they bring it home, and that's changing them, but as well the local community.
You're talking about, touching people and transforming them on an individual level, but tourism also has the potential to really transform societies. If it's done responsibly and in a sustainable fashion, it can transform entire communities. It can promote understanding and cooperation among people. We have just about enough time for a wrap-up statement to the audience. So I will kind of ask both of you, where do you see the tourism sector in Bosnia and Herzegovina in the next 5 to 10 years? And what role do you hope to play? And kind of a message to the young audience here with us that's in different lanes of their life, but where could we spark that interest in being proud of the country that we live in, and also for the future of it in terms of inviting more travelers to come and visit it?
Sanja showed on me, so I will start. I think first of all, the future is in this personalized travel. This is the only way to beat mass tourism. We can't handle what Croatia is handling, and this is the only way to being sustainable. This is the only way to understand the country more, because it has such a rough, wrong word, not rough, like very long and interesting history that has been shaped by different empires, but as well on their own. So this is the only way for me, and as well for the people to feel a little bit more proud about the things that are to feel proud, and not only we are making mistakes, everywhere else you see mistakes, and like the government maybe not being the best, but the quality of life is here good, and we should know this. So yeah, personal travel is the future of Bosnia and Herzegovina, in my opinion. I mean, that's my company, would be stupid if I would see it somehow different, and as well that we are such good hosts, and everybody tells us when they are here, so we should continue being this good host and good out of something good, good will come. That's mine.
Thank you, Nermin. Sanja?
You mentioned this new project that I'm into, which is snowshoeing. So basically, it's a simple activity, and it's organized for small groups. I organize them on Jahuren. You're all invited when we have enough snow. It's really a perfect winter setting to experience and to explore mountain on snowshoes. So this was completely different experience for me, because you organize these small tours for small groups, and it's more personalized. Because people, when they come to Jahorina, it's a ski resort, but they don't have really close connection except with the receptionist at the hotel, and probably with nobody else if they're staying in an apartment. So this is like a really personal contact, and somebody is showing the mountain to them, and giving them a new experience, because maybe 98% of people doing these snowshoe walking tours never experienced it before. So it's something new. We have different activities, different destinations to offer, but if we want to be sustainable, it has to be like that, like small groups, personalized, and we have to be very responsible about nature. At the same time, we have to develop some kind of manifest to educate people how to protect nature, and at the same time fight out authorities that are selling off the best parts of our country. They're selling off nature in terms of developing big tourist resorts or whatever at the places which should be well protected.
Well, thank you to both. A big round of applause to the speakers today for sharing your stories very openly and generously. If you haven't been inspired enough about tourism in this country, I also invite you to check out the competition that we will have at the booth from USA Tourism, 15 reasons to consider or explore a career in tourism. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.